undo the terrible harm I have caused.
In Los Angeles, a killer the police are calling the Hillside Strangler has murdered 10 young women and left their bodies on the hillsides along the highway.
It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all evil in some form or another.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We are all evil in some form or another. I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons.
But no matter what I did, I could not undo the terrible harm I have caused.
In Los Angeles, a killer the police are calling the Hillside Strangler has murdered 10 young women and left their bodies on the hillsides along the highway.
It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all evil in some form or another.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another BTC stream. Before we get too far in, go ahead and let us know if our audio is all good, if you guys can hear us all. We're trying something a little different with the video. It's a little wonky looking, but I think the video quality itself is going to be a little better. So hopefully, but before we get too far into everything, just be like, we can hear you, because God forbid we have something happen like last week.
Yep.
We're getting better. We're getting better at this.
It was a hard learning curve.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God. I suppose I could pull it up on my phone and see if our audio is all good.
Good.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiff.
Shout out my laptop.
Shout out to our sound producer, Tiff. I started drinking like an hour ago, so.
Yeah.
So, welcome to our, I think, third BTC Quaren-Stream live stream.
Is it?
I think so. Like third or fourth. I don't know. We've done quite a few of them.
I'm lost. I don't know what's going on half the time.
Janelle has dubbed this Fancy Friday, which is why we are all a little fancier.
Lost Girls Vintage, and I was like, I need to wear this.
Dude, it's so cute. I love the little hat. It's great.
Beret.
It's great.
It's very wonderful.
Do you want to
60s and
do you want to stand up and give a little twirl, or no? Are you not about that life?
I mean, I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see, but sure. Please.
Cute. I love it. I saw the pictures.
High neck collar.
I saw the pictures that you posted on your Facebook, and I was just like, "Oh, girl, you cute." I got my shiny, fancy. Here, I'll give you a little.
Like a disco queen.
Yeah, I just really wanted to wear something like super fancy.
And I'm drinking watermelon kombucha out of a wine glass, pretending it's alcohol.
Oh, kombucha is one of those things that I'm just like, no thanks. Oh God, does it though? Like a fermented Jolly Rancher?
It doesn't even taste like kombucha at all.
That's one of those things that I haven't tried because I'm kind of like, oh, you know.
Gotta get the right brand.
Yeah.
Some of them really taste like vinegar.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that I've had and kind of taste awful. Where it's like, ooh.
So this is Synergy.
Okay.
Synergy kombucha watermelon. And then I also really like Health Aid's sparkling rosé. It literally tastes like rosé wine.
Oh, good. I'll have to, maybe I need to like retry some kombucha stuff. This is what I'm drinking. It's a 1911 raspberry cider.
Oh.
I've been very into 1911. They have an amazing black cherry. It's like, oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
that cider hookup.
Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I'm normally drinking cider, but part of me was like, this cider is in honor of our most recent video with the Cider Scene Boys. Shout out to them.
Yes.
Which was super fun. I'm so glad you asked them if they had watched Tiger King.
And I was like, you guys have lots of alcohol. You do the cocktail. I'll bring the conspiracy. It's done.
You're asking all of the right questions when you talk to them.
I do. I really do.
I am just pulling up my notes here. What do you guys want to start with? I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Vicky.
And I'm Janelle.
And we're the Bad Taste Crime Cast.
Welcome to Fancy Fridays with BTC.
I like this. We should start doing more themed Fridays because I legit did all of my makeup, did the whole thing. I should turn this light a little bit.
I wish you could really see my makeup, but it is black and white, and it's just 1960s winged out in every direction.
So my goal for quarantine is to learn how to do a wing because I have no fucking idea. I've never done one.
I love it too. Do you know they have stamps now?
Do they?
You can just stamp it onto your eyelid.
I got a liquid liner from one of those boxes, which I'm sad is ending, actually. I got an email that they're like, we're not doing this anymore. I was like, darn. Because that's where I got all my makeup from. I know. But that's my goal is I really want to do, learn how to do a winged eyeliner just to be super fancy. Yes. And then I could do super ultra dramatic.
And they also have stencils you can get now. I was like, I learned the hard way, drawing it on repeatedly and making it larger and larger every time I messed up.
Do you feel like as an artist you have an easier time doing a cat eye, like a wing?
I think so, yeah. I also had the wherewithal to look at the brushes because a lot of girls get the ones with the tip already attached to it, and I have the pot that you dip the brush into.
Yes.
Which I think is because of my artsy hand. I was like,
yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're so lucky. Okay, so what do you guys want to get started with? I've got some news like I normally do.
News.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have quite the amount of choices. Let's see. I guess let's start with the COVID related stuff because we'll just
there's no avoiding it.
There isn't. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. So one of the things we've talked about on previous live streams is that the crime rate has actually been going down for some places. And we talked about the interview with a burglar. Actually, I think it's on the episode that's coming out on Sunday. We talk about this interview with a burglar that somebody had done. So one of the things I looked into was, do we have any actual numbers to support these claims that the crime rate is going down? And they do. So AP did a great article. After we're done streaming, I'm going to put all the links to this in the descriptions if you guys want to look at any of these articles. But according to AP News, in Chicago, drug arrest rates have dropped 42% since the shelter-in-place order was put in place, and crime overall has declined 10%, which is huge. I mean, when you're talking double-digit numbers, that's a really big drop.
Because martial law.
Yeah, because that's totally what's at. Janelle, don't put that idea in people's heads.
Just look at all the news coming out of Michigan.
I mean, okay. Fair enough. There is still a concern regarding domestic violence cases, specifically about being unreported and what might happen if the restrictions remain in place for too long, because you also have people being quarantined with their abusers at the moment. And if rates of reporting were not high before, they're not going to get any higher now, if we're being real, unfortunately.
Yeah.
New York has seen a drop of murder, rape, robbery, burglary, assault, grand larceny, and car theft down by 12% from February to March. LA saw a 30% drop in about the same time period. There has been a significant drop across Latin America also, which I found kind of interesting. El Salvador actually reported an average of 2 killings per day, which was down from a peak of about 600 a day, which is also just like, it's crazy that it's that high, but
that's crazy.
The drop is also very insane. South Africa has seen a drop as well, with police reporting that in the first week of lockdown, rapes were down from 700 to 101 over the same period in the previous year. And serious assault cases were down from 2,673 to 456. And murders were down from 326 to 94. So they're seeing this like big decrease in the crime rates, which part of me is like, if it takes a pandemic to do that, then so be it. Like, that's fine. If that's...
But then, how wild is the crime going to be after it's over?
Yeah, that's true. Is everybody just going to be, like, taking all this pent-up crime rage and just, like...
It's going to be like the fucking purge after this is done.
Oh, my God. That's true. So that's the COVID news. We'll just do that and...
COVID news corner.
COVID news corner, which, God, I never thought we would ever have to have, like, ever.
Yep.
What else? I'm trying to decide what order I want to do these in. Okay. The next one is about did you hear, because of course us living in Northern Illinois, about the inmates that had escaped from a Wisconsin prison, like in the last...
Yeah, they actually got caught today at a homeless shelter that I'm friends with the woman who owns it.
Yes. So 37-year-old James Robert Newman and 46-year-old Thomas E. Deering escaped from a Wisconsin prison, and then they showed up this morning at a Rockford nonprofit organization that feeds the homeless.
It's called Miss Carly's. Check it out. They're amazing.
Miss Carly's? Is that what she said?
Yep.
Okay. So it was at Miss Carly's. Newman had been in prison for kidnapping and firearms charges, and Deering had been in prison for burglary, kidnapping, and sexual assault charges. And so this morning they showed up. They were still wearing their like prison garb, from what I understand, and they had emergency what do they call those? The emergency blankets.
Blankets that look like foil.
Yeah, under their clothes, is what the report had said. And so they were stalled by giving them like a cup of coffee until police arrived, thankfully.
Yep.
So that was kind of exciting. Rockford's actually not that far from us. I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was happening today.
Yeah. And that's actually not the first time that's happened at that place. She's actually had to turn in other people who were escaped convicts and people who were
really at that particular shelter.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. Although at the same time, I guess if you're like somebody that's trying to escape the law and you have nowhere to go, I guess it would make sense, like some manner of sense, to go to like a homeless shelter. I guess. Yeah.
I mean, she has clothing and food and a whole bunch of stuff for people. So
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about our Tiger King news for today.
Oh boy.
If you thought I was gonna run out, you are sorely mistaken.
You're never gonna run out.
I don't know if I will. It's true. I think we might be nearing the end of like the new Tiger King stuff, but you know, when you have a phenomenon like this, it's hard to tell when it's actually gonna die out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But Investigation Discovery has decided to cash in on the success of Tiger King, and they have greenlit their own series called Investigating the Strange World of Joe Exotic.
Oh my God.
They intend to address the unanswered questions about Joseph Maldonado Passage, aka Joe Exotic. And this is, I love this. This is according to their own press release. Quote, "Who is Jeff Lowe and what does the FBI really know? What secrets lie hidden within Doc Antle's walls? Is," which I love. It's like, seriously, what secrets do hide in there? Because dude's a little strange.
Yeah.
Is Baskin really a selfless protector of animals whose husband mysteriously disappeared? Or are we witnessing her master plan finally coming together? No one seems to be talking, except one man. And that man is the center of ID's upcoming investigative series. There is not a release date that's been announced. They've been told to, people have been told to expect this either towards the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't anticipate Carol Baskin and her husband taking part because they were like not thrilled at all about the Tiger King stuff.
I imagine they were, brought into that under false pretenses.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
But once they started asking questions about her dead husband, that should have been a huge indicator.
Right. And I don't know. You hear this a lot, I think, with people who take part in some of these documentaries and then later, obviously it comes out they either were not painted in the best light or like, they had the wrong impressions. But I wonder how much of that is actually them sort of like hearing what they want to hear about the production of whatever is happening. Like, I'm sure in some way she thought this was going to be more about big cats and saving big cats, and like that's what she told herself in her head. But like you said, obviously when they start asking questions about your dead husband, that might be a clue that that something else is going on. So anyway, we can look forward to that. Tiger King's not over. Obviously this is going to go on until next year. Thank you, ID.
How many people do you think are going to write Joe Exotic in when it comes time to vote?
Oh my God, probably way too many.
He's going to accidentally win the presidential election.
He'll probably, oh my God, that would be hilarious. Can we do a Tiger King for president campaign? Wait, no, I don't want to put that into the ether.
It's already in the ether.
I don't want to. I'm not throwing my support behind Joe Exotic. 'Cause no. All right, last piece of news. I've been seeing this everywhere. It's like the Google gods know what I look at on a daily basis. It's murder. Big clue. It's murder. So I feel like you probably have heard about this and given half a thought to participating. But Magellan TV wants to pay you $1,000 to watch 24 hours of true crime documentaries.
Yes, I did see that.
Everywhere. I've been seeing it everywhere. So the deal is, you go onto their website, they are talking about how they want somebody who has a real passion for true crime, they can handle all of this, and they want somebody who's going to be willing to stream this for 24 hours straight. Now, I will say, when you look down a little bit at the application, towards the bottom it says you actually have 48 hours to complete this, so if you need to, like, sleep, that you can do that. But they have on there the list of documentaries that you'd be required to watch. So here is what's on the list. Manson's Missing Victims, Manson 40 Years Later, Tortured to Death, Murdering the Nanny, which some of these titles I'm like, man, that is like real kind of nondescript. I have no idea what case that's going to be covering. Like this one, Murder on the Internet. Who knows? Women on Death Row, Killer in the Family, Columbine Massacre in the Killer's Mind, Last Confessions of the Cannibal, Behind Bars, Parachute Murder Plot, which I kind of just want to know what that is. I want to know what that is.
That sounds amazing.
Art trafficking gray market, crimes that made history, Jonestown Paradise Lost, undercover Asia, trafficking pills, and Delhi cops. It might be Delhi cops. I'm not sure, but that's the list. If you do it and you complete it, you'll get $1,000 cash, 1 year free membership to Magellan TV, and 3-month memberships for 3 of your like friends or family.
That's easy. Easy
Yeah.
peasy done.
Yeah. So if you
I'll challenge you, 24 hours.
The thing is it's like, yeah, I do this, and I would send in my application and say, yeah, I'll do this for $1,000. And I mean, obviously I love true crime. We have a podcast. We talk about it all the time. I don't know that I could submit an application that's like, compelling enough to be like, this person has the social media following and is like, all, you know what I mean? I'd just be like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. I think if you went underneath as like, oh, we're the Bad Taste of Crime cast, we'll do this.
It's true. Oh my god, it'd be so fun. I could totally do it. I think it would be really really
Who
fun.
couldn't is the bigger question.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments section. All of these shows sound like a bad novel at the dollar section of the bookstore. It's so true.
Light up over there.
Yeah, it's so true. So anyway, if you guys think that you can do this, you can head on over to Magellan TV, fill out an application. You have until I think May 4th to submit applications for this. They're really taking advantage of it because obviously everybody's at home. What else are they going to do but watch true crime? That's all we've been doing. Speaking of which, watching true crime, should we move on to our... You want to talk about the Innocence Files a little bit?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
So I watched, I was actually just watching some of it right before we started streaming. I watched, I think, the first 2 episodes, or I'm almost done with the second episode, which cover basically a case of bite marks and the science behind bite mark examination. Janelle actually messaged me today and was like, girl, I got some opinions.
I have opinions.
Please. I'm ready. I am ready. Please tell me your opinions.
So, if you're not familiar with what the Innocence Files is, it's on Netflix. It's a series they say it's broken into 3 parts. Kind of, not really.
Yeah. Is each part like split into a couple episodes though?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
So
okay.
Each part is a couple episodes.
Gotcha.
But there is a lot of blending and crossover.
Yeah.
They just talk about specific cases, I think is what they were trying to get at. But it was described as an exploration of the breakdown of the justice system, which I think is a very, very accurate description.
Yes.
It covers junk science, police intimidation, racial profiling, the faults in eyewitness accounts, and coerced police statements. So it's got all of this stuff coming together, but it starts off with junk science, which, if you guys know anything about us, is like our favorite thing to talk about.
It was like one of the first episodes we did was junk science, like right out the gate.
I saw it come up as bite marks, which they cite a lot about the case, like Ted Bundy's case, and how that was like the preeminent bite mark analysis case that was like what you need to compare your bite mark analysis to. The guy who did that says now that he like looks at bite mark analysis in a totally different way. He's very skeptical about it. And this is his forensic orthodontistry or whatever it's called. It's like it's got a weird name. Yeah,
it's like I couldn't even.
Something or other. But the thing that really got me, because the first section, the bite mark analysis, was probably the best out of all of them. They really hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
They did a controlled case study about bite mark analysts, where they gave all of these analysts several cases, and they had to determine if it was a bite mark, if it wasn't a bite mark, or they used this, it's consistent with being a human bite mark, which means they can't say it is, they can't say it isn't.
Okay.
And all of these analyses came out with different conclusions for each case.
Okay.
So the guy who is putting this together, the documentarian was like, yeah, this is why we're investigating bite mark analysis, because there is no cohesive, investigation tools. Everyone comes out with a different outcome, even when they're given the exact same information. And that's what they're trying to drive home about all of this junk science. They also make mention about fire science, and there was one about footprint science, which is
Is that even a thing?
They went to this like fair convention for all these different forensic sciences, and the guy who presented footprint analysis was so creepy. He has to have a foot fetish. He has to. The way he was talking about the striations in a female, footprint is just, it's too much.
Those dainty feet.
Yeah, he talks a lot
Oh my God.
about female in that one, and I wasn't sure if that was the documentarian's choice or if that really was what that guy was talking about nonstop. I'm gonna say the latter, probably.
Oh my God.
But it's really interesting. It's a lot of cases that the Innocence Project worked on, and in particular the bite mark analysis one. The guy who the analysis who got the conviction for the first gentleman is a straight up lunatic.
Oh my God. This analyst that they get on is like, it's interesting because you have somebody like the first gentleman you talk about, whose name I forget, who worked on the Ted Bundy case and has now, so many years later, looked at the science and said, this actually isn't as legit as I thought. Whereas in very stark contrast, you have this analyst who convicted the first gentleman, who is kind of cuckoo bananas and is very adamant that he has all of these years experience. He knows what he's talking about. All of his
control tests he was doing were insane.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
He was like taking these. He got impressions of the gentleman that was being convicted and made like a little snapper thing and was going around and biting people and taking pictures of the bruising. And I was like, no.
Well, and he talked about,
and they brought it up, like, everybody bruises differently.
Right.
Like me, I bruise really easily. If I lean on something for too long, I get a bruise. So that's meaningless. You're just going around biting random women for no reason.
Well, and he even did a thing where when he was talking about developing the science of bite mark analysis, where he would get bitten by people, like he would just let people come up and bite him, and I was like, oh my God, like there's so much that I'm thinking, this is just fucking bonkers.
Like a lot of these people have really, really repressed sexuality, and it's coming out in their work. Like, you have a foot fetish, just get over it. Sir, you enjoy being bit, okay? Just come out with it.
Oh my God. I do like, so over in the chat, they're talking about forensic podiatry and how gross feet are. It's true. Yeah. It's all true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I would highly recommend it. The other couple cases that they cover talk a lot about issues with the way that police investigate and acquire evidence and witnesses and, statements and things. It's really fascinating. It's very, very long.
Yeah.
So you need to buckle up because it is a long one.
Yeah, I know how you feel about things that are extended and stretched out. Do you feel like it was unnecessarily long, or do you just feel like there was so much information that needed to be in it that they had to kind of make it longer?
I think the first section was just the right amount. The
Yeah.
middle one, I felt like they concentrated a little bit too much on information about the gang structure, because it talks about gangs a lot in LA. And the last bit, I think, was a good amount. I think it was the middle story that they drug out some of the information unnecessarily.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, but it was good overall. Just it was a little bit long. You could cut it down a little bit.
Yeah, true.
I have important things I need to do while I'm in quarantine.
I'm thinking, do you really? Do you?
I do schoolwork. That's about it.
I've done just about, I'm looking around actually, I'm almost done with, like done with my cleaning. Like,
Nice.
all of it done. So I don't have more important things to do. I finally finished The Staircase, started watching Unbelievable. Somebody in
You
chat.
still never answered me about what your thoughts are about the owl theory.
Oh, I have always thought, and the owl theory is one of those things that, like, before I even watched the documentary, I did know about the case, and I know about this owl theory, which I kind of wish they would have gone back and included. But
Yeah.
you know,
They do like extended episode on it.
Yeah.
On HBO.
Okay.
Like an extended.
I might have to go and do that or watch that one, but I do think that it's possible. I mean, I think there's weirder things that have happened, and I think it's a far more likely scenario than Michael Peterson pushing his wife Kathleen down the stairs. I have not ever thought that he was guilty, personally. This is.
I mean, he's guilty being a fucking creep, but besides that.
Yeah, I think there's some things about him that people would find unusual or unsettling, but that doesn't make somebody guilty either.
Yeah,
as we both know,
he looks like a pedophile doesn't mean he is a pedophile.
Right. But I have not ever thought that he's guilty. The way that he portrayed himself never seemed guilty. This is another example of junk science. Unfortunately, the blood spatter expert was not, and falsified evidence on many cases. So, like, the dude got shafted. Like,
yeah,
that's all there is to it. You know. It's really unfortunate that they were still trying to go after him, and he ended up having to take an Alfred plea. But I don't know. I think that honestly,
that those are even a thing.
What, the Alfred pleas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, oh my god.
There's so many things wrong with our system.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's like there to allow prosecutors to get plea deals out of innocent people, essentially. Like, that's basically what it is.
It's about numbers, really. About closing the cases and getting the convictions.
Yeah.
No matter unfortunately.
Before we move too far on, I wanted to point out, somebody in the chats mentioned how to fix a drug scandal, which we did talk about. I don't know if we talked about it in the episode that's coming out, or if we talked about it in one of the previous live streams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent series. Yeah, it's an excellent series. I totally 100% back up that suggestion. Yeah, good job. That's all I gotta say on that.
Good.
Yeah.
That was another one where I thought it was like a little bit long.
It was only 4 episodes!
I mean, in terms of like the way that they told the story, like they concentrated on some things for a long time that was just like unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I like that stuff. I love like the abundance of information.
He was a drug addict. We get it. You don't have to go on and on and on and on. Okay.
You gotta have the narrative, Janelle. You're just like, condense everything down.
Full of fucking meth out of the fridge. She's a drug addict.
Condense everything down into 15-minute episodes, and I want to be able to be done with the whole series in 1 hour.
Give me the Cliff Notes version. I want to think about the why. I don't want you to tell me the why. I want to think about the why.
Yeah.
Facts, and I will fill in the gaps.
Oh, Caitlin. Okay, so that was Caitlin who put that out there. I've met Caitlin before. Hey, girl. One of our fans in Philly.
Nice.
Sorry. Okay, next thing. Continue. I'm trying to keep this
All
train moving.
So the next thing we were going to talk about it was really funny because Vicky's like, did you see the dark side of the ring? I was like, girl, of course I did.
Oh yeah, okay, so let me tell you, in the mornings, now that I am staying home from work, in the mornings, it's become a little bit of a ritual. I wake up, I have some coffee, and I sit in and change it from the news to something else. Because I'll wake up and my mom is watching news, so we'll sit and we'll enjoy our coffee and I'll change the channel. We were watching Vice and this came on and it was like murder and scandal and like all this other stuff, and I was like, girl, I don't even like wrestling, but this sounds really good.
It's even if you don't like wrestling, the stories are really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And it spans a lot of different decades, so you're not getting like a lot of stuff that's current. You're getting some pretty historical stories, and also things that weren't really in the news. You know, like they talked a lot about scandals that were pretty well covered up. I think the one major case that they covered that was really well known was the Chris Benoit, but some of the other stuff, it was very like, you know, brushed under the rug.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but you can watch it on YouTube if you don't have access to Vice.
Yeah, I was looking actually to see if they had it on Hulu, and it's like one of those things that's only with a live TV subscription or something.
So if you Vice's channel on YouTube, you can watch, because it came out in 2019 initially, the first section of it, and they just the couple weeks ago came out with the second section, which has, I think, some more interesting stories. They do a 2-part series on Chris Benoit, which that story is pretty fascinating because it changed the way that wrestlers were able to kind of exist. Like there was, no more drugs, no more partying. Like they cracked down because of that case.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see that story and then all of these other things that were kind of happening in the, periphery of that huge event.
Yeah.
But they talk about a lot of drug addiction issues, people accidentally overdosing, a lot of like shady dealings with contracts and money. And the recent episode I just watched was the Jimmy Snuka one, which I'm not going to tell too much about it because I kind of want to cover it.
I was just thinking we might have to do like a WWE episode because holy shit, is there a lot?
It's really, really interesting. There's a lot of cases that are like mysterious, and a few that were mishandled by the police department, not unsurprisingly. But that one in particular, it took like 30 some years for it to finally come to a head.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting story that I think I want to look into for a future episode. But if you have access to Vice or if you are loving YouTube, check it out. It's really worth it, even if you don't like wrestling. I'm not like the most, huge wrestling fan, but it's I think it's the stories behind the scenes that are much more fascinating.
Yeah, when I originally saw the advertisements for it, I definitely got sort of like Foxcatcher vibes. Like it kind of gave me that same kind of thing. It was like, oh my god, I could be really into this.
Yeah, and I think they do a really good job. They bring in a lot of different people to talk about their relationships with the people in the story. So it's not like just family members in the police department. They're getting a nice wide scope of people to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All I have left is our game.
Okay, so before we start that, I don't. Not really. I'm not really doing anything. I dressed all fancy. This was like super fun. This is probably the most exciting thing I've done, which is just like get dressed up, do my whole makeup, did my hair. I know it's hard to see. I got a little side bun here. Hold on.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's hidden by my
Fancy Friday
headphones.
This is gonna be a thing until quarantine's over.
I think people who are totally stan Hans are asking where your wiener's at.
Hans is actually chilled out and laying on the couch for once.
Wow.
I shame-weenied him before we started.
Shame-weenie.
He went to the other.
So before we move on to our other thing, we do just want to say if you guys have any questions for us about literally anything, go ahead and put something in the chat. Question about the shame weenie was a good one. I think Hans has become, it's so funny because both Hans and Agro, who is our sound producer's cat, have become like sort of internet famous for like
assistant sound producer
Agro. It's funny. They're like podcast staples now.
I considered doing like an Instagram for Hans since I already take so many pictures of him.
I could
but
see
he's
that.
Not cool enough. He doesn't have like a skateboard, or he's not like, he doesn't have a hobby.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
he gets a lot of attention.
Our photographer John and his partner Luke, they have an Instagram for their cat Milo, which I found out. I was just like, dude. I also found out he's got like 4 Instagrams. I'm like, why do you need that many? He's like, well, one for this and one for this and one for this.
Would anyone look at a Hans the Wiener Dog Instagram account?
I would. I would follow the fuck out of that.
Put in more work on something.
It should be fun. It should be a fun thing.
Dress them up. Do weird stuff.
Hint about this episode's weekend. Okay, so we do have an episode coming out on Sunday. Hopefully morning if I wake up early enough to get it posted. I'm trying to think what a good hint is. John Walsh? Is that a good enough hint?
That's a good hint, yeah.
That's a pretty good hint. It is the first one that we recorded in quarantine. I want to apologize in advance because holy mackerel, do I really require a pop filter, which I don't have right now.
I was gonna say it came out good. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it actually did. The sound came out pretty good, the sound quality, but like all of my popping and my breathing and like, oh man.
All of my being a human.
It was too much. It was way too much.
I thought there was going to be like a horrible echo because all of my walls are plaster. So it's just like I'm in Janelle's echo chamber. But
no,
it was fine.
Well, and it was funny because of course you recording in your house when we first started, very, very first started the podcast, like way back 3 years ago, we were recording in your kitchen at your dining room table where you're sitting right now. And they were so echoey and like just.
I have these really big light blocking curtains in the windows. I closed those. I shut all the doors. I closed the doors that go in between my dining room and my living room. So I think that really helped.
Yeah. No, I was kind of surprised. We did have a little hiccup. I actually don't know if I told you this, but Tiff had mentioned towards the end when we were talking about, we were both sharing one shitty mic back then. We were talking about like, I think our Patreon and merch stuff towards the end, and part of my audio cut out, which I was like, oh no. So she was able to cut it and make it sound, podcast ready, but I was just like, at least it wasn't anything important. Yes.
Just ask it. It's fine. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just end abruptly. No goodbye.
It's true. Tiff can always go in and ad-lib if she wants. Just pretend to be us.
Just cut something from a different episode. It's fine.
It's so true. We say the same shit at the end of every episode pretty much anyway, so. I'm trying to think if there's another good hint for this week's episode. I'm pretty sure it's going to be titled Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Yeah. Which is not a hint to what it's actually called or what it's actually about, because almost never do our titles have anything to do with the actual episode.
They don't. It's usually some random snippet of something we say that's really dumb.
It's true. Dumb, but something that I find really funny.
I feel like it's mostly me.
It mostly is. It's because I don't say anything that's funny. I'm just like, yes, interesting. Yes, good point. Did you look at the analysis of the blah, blah, blah?
With the puns, this is the pun gun.
The pun gun? Pew, 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 pew! Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm ready for your game this week after you take a drink of that water.
Okay. It's fun, interactive. All right. So, we have seen a lot of people trying to cast the perfect Joe Exotic movie.
Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I thought we should try casting and or recasting some of our most notorious serial killers in some biopics.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do some Google image searching.
Okay. All right. So the first one's gonna be super duper easy because a movie just came out last year, was it? With Zac Efron, who played Ted Bundy. So if you could recast Ted Bundy, who would you pick for the leading man?
Ted Bundy. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Let me
picked
see here.
The dude from It's Always Sunny who plays Dennis.
Oh my God! Yes.
Howerton.
Yeah. He would be really good. Oh my gosh.
Be so good. It's
Um,
insane. But I feel like Zac Efron was too pretty, so we need someone who's kind of got like that crazy eye look, but slightly like charming looking.
yeah, I could see that. I'm trying to think. See, you have the benefit of having prepared for this.
I prepared.
And I'm also really
I'm
terrible.
also really good at like pulling out actors and actresses' names.
See, I'm real bad at that. I'm real bad at that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to think about that. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at images now.
There was a guy from One Tree Hill. That was another guy that came up when I was looking at John Michael Murray. Don't quote me on that. I am not very good with early 2000s TV shows. But he was on a short list. Okay, so we have in the chat a young Bob Saget.
Okay.
Bill Hader. That would be pretty interesting.
RDJ
could do it. RDJ, elaborate.
RDJ. I'm having a brain fart. RDJ.
Yeah, it was Chad Michael Murray. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. Duh. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh. Robert Downey Jr. Okay.
I can see that. I can see that. He might still be a little too, well, no, I could see that. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Bill Hader would be good, but it'd have to be like a dark comedy version of it.
Yes. He's been getting into a little bit more like serious acting. I say serious. There's always a little bit of comedy in it, I feel like, but like a couple of more serious roles that he's really good at.
Yeah. The dude who plays Dwight in The Office, definitely. I could see that. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that would be really good too. Although he would probably
he played a serial or a murderer in another movie.
He would probably be a good like an Ed Kemper or like somebody like that. That's a little bit more nerdy.
Dennis Rader.
Dennis Rader.
BTK.
Oh, BTK. Yes. Yeah, because that's the thing is you've got Zac Efron, who's like too pretty. Although Ted Bundy was kind of like the pretty boy of serial killers, if we're being real.
But he's not though.
I think that the guy who plays
by 70s standards.
Yes, by 70s standards, absolutely. The guy who plays Dwight, I think, is like too far the opposite way, where he's like not quite pretty enough. Like he's just a little too normal, too average looking. Yeah.
Too office looking.
Yeah. Rob Lowe could be good too. See, you guys are way better at this than I am because I just don't know actors and actresses like.
See, Rob Lowe's too pretty too.
I just don't. Ted Bundy was a pretty boy.
Than Zac Efron.
Ted Bundy was a pretty boy in the 70s.
And also, Rob Lowe and Zac Efron are too, like, svelte. Like, he needs to be a little bit more lanky.
Like scrawny, yeah.
Yeah.
Next one. Move on.
All right. The man, the myth, the legend. Ew, John Wayne Gacy.
Oh my god, yes. Okay. Okay.
So there are several movies that have been done about John Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
The most famous one, called Gacy, had Mark Holton, who, if you don't remember, he played the character Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So when I watched that movie, all I could think about when I was watching it was Pee-wee, and so it took me out of it.
Oh.
The look was spot on, but he did a lot of, like, fun comedic stuff, and that's all I could think of, and I couldn't turn my brain off.
Yeah.
But there was another made-for-TV 2-part series movie that had Brian Dennehy that played Gacy.
Okay.
And with Brian Dennehy, he was the father to Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, and he did a lot of, like, cop-esque kind of characters on TV shows.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I feel like that was a pretty good choice. Brian Dennehy, he's got the look a little bit. He's kind of got, like, that sort of, like, Chicago accent thing going on.
Let me just, I'm just gonna throw something out there, see if it sticks. Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. I mean, yeah, he's a little bit chubbier now.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Gary Busey's like, Garth Brooks! Oh my god. That's pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Oh my god, when he played his dark character for that hot second, do you remember when he, like, changed his look?
Chris something. It was Chris.
Yeah. Let's leave it in the past. But if he's channeling that side of him, yes, I could.
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. Okay, so
Stephen Root. I'm not familiar with that one. Are you familiar?
The Office stapler guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Did he ever do anything after Office Space? Ooh. Well, okay, hold on. Now I gotta look at a picture of John Wayne Gacy.
Yes, Milton. I don't know. I feel like Patrick Dennehy, I feel like Brian Dennehy did a great job. He was pretty good. I think they casted that one correctly. But Mark Holton, no.
Okay. So, what if we did... Oh. What is this guy's name? See, this is the issue, is I can't remember any names. His name is... Hold on. I'm gonna get it.
Like you really have to get, like, a baby-faced, chubby guy. Like, that is the look.
That's true.
Approachable, baby-faced, chubby
guy. Approachable, baby-faced. So this is gonna be, I feel like, and I hope he does not get mad at me for saying this. He probably doesn't even remember I exist, but, Paul Walter Hauser would play a perfect John Wayne Gacy. Now, he was in I, Tonya, and more recently starred in Richard, what was it? The Olympic Park bombing. It was the movie that just kept... Hold on. Okay, see, this is like... Oh, gosh. This is so weird. I went to college with him way back when I went to Concordia University. He was in I, Tonya and Black Klansman. Richard Jewell. He played Richard Jewell in the movie Richard Jewell. He would actually make, I think, a really good Gacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We are casting the future of movies here, people.
Oh my gosh. Are we? I should not be responsible for casting any sort of movie ever.
The next one that I have is going to be fun because it involves a lovely mustache. And it's H.H. Holmes.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly, I don't know if it's still happening, if Leonardo DiCaprio is still going to play him in The Devil in the White City. I haven't heard
Oh my
anything.
gosh. I know, I heard about it like in the initial stages, and then it was kind of just like...
Yeah. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Crickets. But I kind of thought that either Orlando Bloom or Tom Hardy would be a real good choice for H.H. Holmes. Specifically Tom Hardy, because he is really good at yelling and being gruff and like
Yeah.
the mustache.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's in a biopic for Al Capone coming out pretty soon, which looks pretty interesting. And then he was in the Cray Brothers, where he was the Cray Brothers. But I don't know. He's a good gangster.
Yeah. I could see his stash looks glued on. It's true.
I mean, everyone's mustache back then looked glued on.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. We can't keep giving Paul Giamatti everything. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Nick
See,
Cage.
Leo would have been a
Nick Cage
good
can play
one.
all of these characters.
It's true. What about... Okay, see, now I got it. It's like the guy from... What was one of the Sherlock Holmes TV shows?
A TV show?
Yeah. It was called... I know my mom is going to chime in the chat in a minute and be like, it's this!
Is it
Because
was it the guy from Hackers?
that
Sherlock Holmes version?
Elementary is the name of the show.
Yeah, that's the guy who was in that was the guy who was in Hackers. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like if you were to slap a mustache on him, he would actually make a pretty good H.H. Holmes.
I mean, if you slap a mustache on anyone, I'm sure they'll look very H.H. Holmesy.
If you slap a mustache on me, would I look like H.H. Holmes?
Yes, Johnny Lee Miller. He
was
in Hackers. Sorry, I had to take it all the way back to the 90s. Remember Hackers with Angelina Jolie?
Wow. Okay. And of all the movies, you had to pick Hackers.
Dating myself.
That's not a terrible... I feel like he would do that pretty good.
Really fucking love that movie.
Johnny Lee Miller?
The Hackers. That movie is so deliciously 90s. It's just like,
I just had another thought.
Totally how the internet works.
I just had another thought for Ted Bundy.
Oh yeah, Ted Bundy. Okay. Good.
Matthew Lillard?
Ooh yeah, Matthew Lillard could do it.
I'm trying to think. I'm just making sure that
he's a little bit chunkier now.
Oh my god, he is. I used to think he was like the hottest thing. Oh my god. 13 Ghosts? Ooh! Give me that, Matthew Lillard? Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I am into that.
And then he did Scooby-Doo, and it was like, wah, wah.
I know. It was like, oh great, okay. Who else you got on this list?
All right, so next we have Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, there was a biopic played by Jeremy fucking Renner.
What was he in?
No, thank you.
Jeremy Renner.
I'm sorry to all the people who watch the superhero movies. I'm forgetting his fucking name.
Oh, yeah, he's that guy. Hawkeye, yeah. Hawkeye. Sure.
Hawkeye.
Time has hit him hard, yep.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Dahmer.
Jeremy Renner played Jeffrey Dahmer. Who would you pick? Because he is not a good Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
I have a real wild card. Are you ready to hear mine?
Yes.
Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy, I think would be a good Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got the same hairline.
Yeah.
Little blonde. If you just clean shave him and throw some glasses on him, and then when he gets older, that weird mustache he developed.
Yeah.
You got it.
Although I will say, the actor that they got to play young Dahmer, and My Friend Dahmer, it was the one based off of that graphic novel, was like a dead-on, like, young Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. But his face changed a lot when he got older. Like,
yeah,
the picture of him right as he got caught, he was very, very thin and very gaunt. Yeah. He looked very ghostly.
Yeah.
And then when he does all of those interviews in jail later, he is a little bit fuller, but definitely like a weathered Ken doll. Like, just really...
Are you talking about these?
Yeah. See, he looked like really gaunt, like sallow cheeks, you know?
I'm just gonna put this out there again for maybe it's just because he looks like a serial killer, and hopefully this is not a like hint into my personality, but I'm gonna put Matthew Lillard out there again for Dahmer.
I mean, he wasn't Scream.
I think it's
serial killer.
Because that's true. I think it's the sunken in eyes. Like when he was a little younger, he had these like really kind of sunken in.
We have Dave Franco for Jeffrey Dahmer, and Chris Pine. Chris Pine, I think he might be a little too pretty. Maybe if he like did what a lot of great actors do and like lost some weight, maybe he could get that like chiseled look away from his face a little bit. But he's very like...
Who's Chris Pine?
I don't know.
What was he in?
He's like a rustic wood table right now.
He's playing a rustic wood table?
Chris Pine is a rustic wood table.
Oh my god, you're ridiculous. Oh. He's... No. He's
Christian
got a
Bale.
big forehead.
Maybe. If he lightened his hair a little bit. Because Jeffrey Dahmer was very, very blonde when he was arrested.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my god, this is a good one. Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, I could see that.
For sure. Hold on. Look at this. Like... Look at this comparison picture and tell me.
Yeah. He'd have to like really dirty himself up and maybe lose a little weight.
Yeah.
I think then it could work.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't even know. That's a tough one.
That one's a tough one because he's got this very like... He's got a very Midwestern Wisconsin look.
Yeah. Oh, what about...
But also a little bit like Playboy-y.
The
like Wisconsin Playboy.
The guy from Evan Peterson from American Horror Story?
Oh, yeah. American Horror Story. He would be good.
He would be good. Because he already did... in Hotel, he was like an H.H. Holmes, I think, kind of character, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah. He had a penciled-on mustache.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
There were
so good.
Some really great one-liners from his character that had me laughing when I shouldn't be.
Yeah. I will say, I don't think I finished. That's kind of when I stopped watching. Not for disliking it. I just didn't have time. That's one of the things I should watch during quarantine is American Horror Story. Yeah. But
there was one part where someone said, "Ooh, I Googled you," and he goes, "That sounds obscene."
In that particular season, one of my favorite episodes was when they did the like serial killer dinner where they had like all of these serial killers and him having dinner. It was like, oh my god. I was like, this is amazing! Oh my god!
They're really tapping into our market.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen might be a good one. That's not terrible.
I don't know. Evan Peters is pretty good. I think we got that one.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Sorry, I could talk about this all night.
Female serial killer that I covered in one of our episodes. And she is no other than the giggling granny, Nanny Doss.
I was gonna say, is it Nanny Doss?
Nanny Doss.
Oh
and
my god.
Go Eileen Wernos, because that's just too easy.
It is.
So we're gonna go giggling granny, Nanny Doss, because she's like a tough one. Because she's got this really round,
I gotta look at a
very,
picture of her.
Cute little grandma face.
Kathy Bates.
Then there's pictures of her where she looks like she's gonna straight up rip out your larynx. So.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Hands down, maybe. Yeah. She's a little. I think she's probably a little short, but.
I picked the woman who played the older lady in The Notebook, Gina Rowlands.
I don't know who that is.
Because she used to do her hair like that when she was younger, and you can really, because she was like a really well-known actress in the 60s and 70s. So there's a lot of her with like these glamour shots of really super curled hair.
Yeah.
I could definitely see her old hair on her now, looking like Nanny Doss.
Oh yeah. Man, Nanny Doss. I forgot how crazy this woman looked.
Kate Mulgrew. Yep, Kathy Bates.
Who's Kate Mulgrew? Who's Kate Mulgrew?
Let's look her face up.
Oh. I thought you would know this. That's why I was asking. Kate Mulgrew.
I didn't put it on there.
Oh, yeah. She played Red in that prison show. Orange is the New Black. Oh my gosh. I did not realize that she was in Star Trek. That's crazy. She would actually be not terrible. Okay, let me go back.
She has Nanny Doss has a very not a chin. It's very a square. And then it goes into these big round cheeks.
Yeah. That's for sure. Oh, stop. I gotta look at some of the.
Yes, Voyager.
I still think Kathy Bates would be probably a good one. Ooh, the woman who plays the main female in Bond. She's the older whatever.
Conchata Farrell. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Who's that? I don't know who that is
She's
either.
The nanny from the housekeeper, whatever you want to call her, from 2.5 Men.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that as in I literally don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever watched that show.
Later.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good look. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
Has the teeth too. Conchata Farrell.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a little Nanny Doss has a weird gap tooth kind of a thing going on in the front. So.
Oh. Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Now I'm gonna have to think of another game for us to play next week.
I know. This is fun. I love when you come up with these games because it gets my brain moving. Although this one is tough because I'm just I don't know anybody by name. It's that guy that was in that thing.
Yeah, the dude who played this character 30 years ago. You remember him?
Former McHenry County Auditor Pam Palmer.
Where are you pulling that from?
Dude, her dad used to be a judge. What do you want from her?
I know. No one's gonna know that.
Tiff does.
I don't know what any of these local politicians look like. Most of them can't even put up a campaign website.
It's true. Oh my god.
The last election, I was trying to look up people. I'm like, this bitch doesn't even have a campaign website. How am I supposed to know?
Oh my god. That was so fun. I really enjoyed that one. That was really good.
I'll have to get a banger for next week. So
yeah,
I've got my thinking cap on.
Girl.
Pun guns.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So if you guys have
We're
any
done.
any more questions, anything that you want to see from us maybe next week, don't forget we do have a new episode coming out on Sunday. I think I am gonna stick with Can't Stop Won't Stop for a title, so that'll be really fun. Mainly because I haven't finished listening to the episode yet, so there might be a better title in there, I don't know. And this is a great fancy Friday. I feel extra fancy and sparkly.
Gives you a reason to get dressed. I mean, I do, honestly, I get dressed every day, but most people are not getting dressed.
Gave me a reason to put on a bra.
Friday, get dressed up, take a picture, #Fancy Friday.
It was like, it was being able to, do you want to do Fancy Friday again next week?
Yeah.
I got some other, like, dresses and stuff that I haven't.
I have 2 closets full of vintage wear. I can play dress up for days.
I just got rid of over half of the clothes in my closet.
Easy Barbie, so.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we might do Fancy Friday, or we might do another theme. We'll have to think of some more F words. But we'll definitely be back next week. This seems to work out. I think the video is a little bit better, so maybe we'll keep doing this. I don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants over here, guys.
Political stream, Vicky. I've been trying to convince her she won't do it.
We could do a political stream, but I might have an aneurysm and I don't have health insurance right now. So oh my god, I could, don't even get me started on this whole thing. We could do it right now. If we do a political stream, we will let you guys know. It's not going to be on Friday. Well, maybe we could just do it next Friday. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I'll consider it. I mean, that is a different thing.
It's a whole different
yeah.
animal. But we'll think about it. We'll let you know what our theme is for next week. But whatever it'll be, I'll be coming with the fancy, no matter what.
And I'll be coming with the
a true crime mukbang. Ooh. That would be amazing. I have so much ramen in my house.
Oh my god.
Do you not know what a mukbang is? Do you know what a mukbang is?
Should I?
It's not dirty.
I know, but I'm asking, is this one of these things that I should know what it is? It's like the time
really
ever.
Cute Korean girls eating giant bowls of noodles.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Hilarious.
I definitely have plenty of ramen.
I just got super, super, super spicy sesame Korean ramen. It's so hot, I cry. So.
Oh my gosh. I did just see your delivery from H Mart. The pictures from. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna end it here. Keep an eye out on our social media. For any updates, we'll let you guys know. We're definitely going to be back here next Friday. This is really fun. It's so nice to talk to Janelle and like interact with other humans that aren't the people that I live with. No offense, because I know some of you guys are watching. Love you. So anyway, enjoy your.
Yeah, send us your ideas for
Fettuccine Friday. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah, send us your ideas. I think the theme is a good idea because this definitely was a good excuse to like get dressed up without having to shave my legs for real.
Yeah, you just have to dress up from like the waist up.
Literally, yeah. So
unless you make me twirl again.
Oh my god, should we do one last twirl for our?
Sure. Should we do it in unison?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We'll do a nice little.
1, 2, 3. Doris Day twirl.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for this week's live stream. We will see you guys back here, same time next week, next Friday.
Where's my pun guns?
Oh God, please leave those at home. Oh wait, you are at home. Oh God.
Holstered.
Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Goodbye, guys.
Hey.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We thought all evil in some form or another.
I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons.
But no matter what I did, I could not undo the terrible harm I have caused.
In Los Angeles, a killer the police are calling the Hillside Strangler has murdered 10 young women and left their bodies on the hillsides along the highway.
It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all evil in some form or another.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We thought all evil in some form or another.
I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me